It's a good morning to you. Welcome to Asake Online. My name is Zenzele Ndebele, and this is the Breakfast Club. In 2018, just after the elections in 2018, we talked to most of the councillors who had been elected councillors in 2018. That included the mayor, Solomon Mguni, the deputy mayor, then it was Kambarami, then it was Mlandu, and most of the guys who became councillors. And as we know that 2023, there is going to be an election, we want to look back at some of the things that they said, what they promised, and try and see what they've achieved. Did they live up to their promises? And as voters, can we trust them with another 5 years? I know in the last 5 years, a lot of things have happened. By then, when we talked to them, it was MDC. It was before the Monzora issue, and then after that, some councillors went with CCC, others remained with Monzora, and there's been a lot of confusion, which has actually also compromised when it comes to service delivery, because there is no political party that seems or that wants to own up to the councillors, because CC will tell you that we don't control the councillors, and Monzora will tell you something different. And today in the program, we'll be talking to the mayor of Bulawayo, Solomon Mguni. This interview was done in 2018, just after he was elected councillor, before he had been voted as the mayor of Bulawayo. I know the race for the post of mayor is really getting hot, and there's a lot of debate on who should be a mayor, what are the qualities and all those kind of things. But it is also interesting that, like I've been saying in some of the programs, that people are starting to debate about the caliber and the quality of the councillors after the elections, when it's supposed to be something that we could have done before the elections. But now that we have the 29 councillors, most of which people don't know because they just voted for a party, as SITE, we've decided to talk to some of these councillors to find out who are they, what makes them tick, what are their ambitions, and to just find out the caliber and the level of councillors that we've had. Welcome to the program, Mr. Mkuni.
Thank you.
I would like to first congratulate you for winning, being the councillor for Bulawayo, 23. I know it was quite a tight race, and of course other people were not successful, and it's good to have a young man like you winning the elections. So my first question to you is, can you briefly tell us about yourself? Who is Solomon Mguni? Uzalelwe ngaphi, wakhulela ngaphi?
Well, I was born in 1983, 7 September 1983. I'm just a week or so from my 35th birthday. Mina ukuzalwa ngizalelwe eGwademba eFlapos. Apparently. Exactly. Ephumula. Now umdala ngumsebenzi. I think okwasebenzele eKwekwe eMnyati Power Station. Wagcina ethola indawo eGogwe. So I then grew up in Gogwe, and but I was educated khonapha koBulawayo. Ngase ngikhula njalo ikugcina ngisiya e-University of Zimbabwe lapha ngasithatha khona law.
So how? So when you are a lawyer?
I'm a lawyer by profession, yes.
I'm just a part-time lawyer in Chamisa lawyer, BT lawyer, Mkuni lawyer, Welshman lawyer. What's with law and politics?
No, I think administration is all about law. Politics is all about law. So that's basically what I can say.
Okay, so we are practicing law as a lawyer right now?
Yes, I graduated at the UZ in 2008. So I may say that I'm now 10 years in practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it's interesting to have a lawyer as a councillor, probably one of the few lawyers who, in the recent years, will be a councillor. But what motivated you to basically join politics?
I joined politics in 2003 when I joined the University of Zimbabwe. So basically, I'm 15 years in the movement, in politics, opposition politics in Zimbabwe. So really, what motivated me is that, you see, I've always been a student of history. You see, you studying all those French Revolution, the Hitler things, whatever. So you then are motivated by those great men who lived before us. So, and their politics and policies. So basically, you then join politics to try and change the world and how things are done.
So you were part of the student movement, like you said?
Yes, precisely, yes. And in fact, my politics started at branch level, the University of Zimbabwe MTC branch. That's where I started my politics from.
So how has been the transition from, politics, the student politics, to be the real politics now that you are in, contesting for power and all those kind of things?
Well, the difference, you'd know that when you're student politics, you're not much motivated by the long-term things. You are just looking at the current concerns of the students and those affected by the school administration, the university administration, etc. But now when you look, you take a national outlook, when you join national politics now, you are now looking at the bread and butter issues of the and livelihood of the nation in particular. So that's what I can say, that's the difference. But the transition was not difficult because you are just looking at addressing the concerns and the difficulties that the everyday person faces.
So now looking at the campaign, just from the elections, how was the experience probably for you? You're campaigning for the first time, but how was the experience of campaigner and everything that is involved in an election?
Well, to me, it was not something really new because you'd note that I have always been campaign manager and strategist for other candidates before me. Last time in 2013, we had about 4 youthful candidates from our party who took part in local government and House of Assembly elections. So you're talking of Orot Nichele, you're talking of Mlandi Ngube, you're talking of Charles Moyo, who is now MP, you're talking of Obek Temba Nyati. Unfortunately, is no longer with the MTC. So we would mobilize and strategize for those young cadres. So really, to me, it wasn't anything new. Now that I was personally involved now as a candidate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you find with the elections that because of their nature, they are harmonized. And people tend to concentrate a lot and probably parliamentary elections and presidential. To the extent that they will go and vote for individuals, probably council, and people don't know who their councillor is. But in your ward, what are you doing to actually say, maybe wanting to choose, because you might find that
well, yeah, the instances where you then meet people to say, but really, you see, the structure of politics is such that you have your political structure, your political party structure, then you have the generality of the people, maybe say in the ward or the constituents. So really, you'll be known to your political structures and maybe your neighbors, etc. But now then, when you're elected now, you now need to appeal to the greater community that has voted for you. Because when you look at your structure, it's just maybe plus or minus 150 people per ward. So, but now when you get over 3,000 people electing you, so it then shows that it's not only about your structure, it's about the greater community now, which you now have to appeal to them more than the structure that runs your campaign or which runs your politics. So now it then becomes a duty after the election now to then reach out to the generality of those people in your ward to then say, yeah, I'm your leader. I'm not only leader of my political party. My policies will not only be to take care of those people from my party. So you are now saying, I'm now a councillor for all. You are uniting people, even those who didn't vote for you, and even those who contested for you. Some of them are leaders. You find out that wards, you find out those contestants are actually resident chairs. So you now need to embrace everyone and then work with them.
So now looking at this is the first time going to be a councillor of Bulawayo. What made you to decide which one you want to be a councillor? What is it that really you want to change in the council?
Well, like I said, politics is all about the law. administration is all about the law. You see, there are a lot of shortcomings that sometimes you see with, had I been there, maybe I would have done things differently in terms of what not all resolutions sometimes may be as appealing to the generality of the public and even yourself. But then to sit back and then say somehow things will change themselves without participating. You will not be letting only yourself down, but even those people who may benefit from your expertise.
So, I mean, do you have anything in specific to when I'm counseling, this is what I want to see in terms of development or otherwise?
Well, there are a lot of corporate governance issues where on the sidelines you'll be seeing, but how are these guys doing this thing this way? Fine, I may not be at liberty to expose those things before I'm even involved in those things. But there are a lot of corporate governance issues, for instance, where you say, no, had I been there, maybe I would do things differently so that I will sit most forward.
Yeah. So you find it's gonna usually abantu they look at council and they associate it with the abantu abadala. We now have a number of quite young people who are counseling. You're talking about Umlandu and many others, probably another few, maybe 3 or so young councillors that have been elected. Mm-hmm. How do you think this is going to change the direction of ECT Council in terms of coming up with the policies that favor young people?
Well, if you followed the events in our party, the MDC, since March, you see that the ascendance of a young, vibrant leadership in the shape of Advocate Nelson Chamisa brought with it a campaign based on hashtag generational consensus. So we are saying it's a break with the past. Young people must now take part in decision making. Young people must now take part in public sector management. Young people must now be part of the development, not only of their city, but the country at large. So we are saying we're bringing in a new flair, a new way of doing things, fresh and vibrant ideologies, and a new way of doing things.
There's also, in the last council, we saw my councillors at one point suspended of corruption and all those kind of things, and people have been saying my councillors are just going there to give themselves stands. You know, what's your comment on that?
Well, it has been a challenge, not only in Bulawayo, the issue of corruption in local government circles. Yeah, I think, like I said, those are some things that you say, if I was there, maybe I was going to do things differently and say, maybe let's be firm on how things are done. Like I alluded to the issue of corporate governance, the issue of doing things in a manner which is not tainted, things which are done above board and whatever. But you will find out most of those things, some of them are allegations which could not stand even the scrutiny of our courts in other instances. But we're just saying we need capacity in our local authorities, and we need people who are keen to do things above board.
So, I mean, one of the issues, of course, that comes with the new council is the election of mayor. And there has been a lot of talk about the mayoral and deputy mayoral post for a various number of reasons. But my question to you is, have you applied to be mayor of Bulawayo?
Well, I took a decision, I would say a rare decision for that matter, to apply for that. In fact, maybe I'm the youngest of the applicants, the 6 applicants who applied for that mayoral post. Yes, I did apply.
Okay. Do you think your age is an advantage or is a disadvantage?
Well, like I said, I think I've alluded to the question of the issue of capacity, the issue of vibrance, the issue of new ideas. I think I have the capacity, I have the new ideas, I have the zeal and the power to to drive the city forward.
So, if you were to be elected a mayor, what would be what's your vision for the city? What is it that you want to introduce? What is it that you want to change? What is it that you want to maintain? I mean, in your tenure, what would we say? I mean, Mkuni, mayor of Bulawayo, I mean, things moved from this position to that position.
We have had predecessors before us who have done exceptionally well in shaping the discourse of this city. So basically what we are doing, or what we will do, we will start from where our predecessors left and see how best we can take over. But most importantly, our predecessors introduced, or rather they were working on a principle of twinning, where our cities are twinned to other metros, municipalities and cities across the world, the globe. But most importantly, what we are saying is that we must now revisit those twinning agreements and see which of those agreements really benefit us, and learn from those cities who have done well. We can look into infrastructure, because really our infrastructure is very old, and we're even behind time. So we need to play catch up with the rest of the world, especially those progressive cities, which are our twin sisters, our twin cities rather. So really we need to learn on infrastructure and learn on the public transport system. We also need to learn on how they've managed to lure fresh capital, new investments, in terms of the incentives which they give to investors, so that we bring back the former glory of our city.
Yeah, I mean, talking about investment, because Bulawayo is one of the cities where we've seen over the years a number of companies relocating from Bulawayo to other cities. So are you likely to also look at how do you, attract these companies back?
Yes, not only attracting those companies back, but we're saying we want fresh capital, fresh investments. That's why I was talking of what our city must be attractive to that investment, and also lure them back, those who have decided to relocate. So how do we do that? We need a robust marketing strategy, because without marketing, really very few people or very few business people in the globe will find our city attractive. So we need that robust marketing strategy to say, invest in Bulawayo. These are the incentives. If once you invest in Bulawayo, these are the incentives which are there, which will make the city attractive again.
Assuming that you get elected mayor, one of the issues that people have been talking about is the Mkuni project, which has been there for quite a while, and there is no progress that is going on.
Yes.
If you become a mayor, or one of even a councillor, because now that you're a councillor, what are you going to do about this project?
Well, Mkuni is one of the fantastic projects that our predecessors have come up with, and it's going to transform from our seat. So basically what we need to do is to understand, to meet the contractors and understand their challenges, whether they're genuine or not, what is it that is holding them to make progress there. And then only after we have met them and understood their challenges, can we then make a decision on whether we proceed with them or a new contractor takes over. So really we cannot make a decision now that we have not yet understood what is it that is holding them, because we really need that project, because it will transform our city.
I know that the issue of mayor and deputy mayor probably is also a political issue, in the sense that your party has to endorse you and all those kind of things. And we know that you guys went for interviews and all those kind of things. So at what point does the party then say, we have decided as a party that this is our candidate?
Well, in terms of the law, you note that there's really no such requirement for us to go for party interviews. the councillors on their first sitting, they elect the mayor and the deputy mayor. But what is important about this process, that the party takes interest in whoever is mayor or deputy mayor, because those are the topmost positions in the city, for the purpose of driving the party policy on local government. So really the party takes interest. So we are all waiting for the feedback from the party on who eventually is recommended for election by councillors as mayor or deputy mayor.
But already you guys, are you lobbying each other within the council? Because, I mean, the party can recommend, but people they've done it before, that they disregard the recommendation of the party. So within the councillors, are you guys now lobbying each other on the...
Well, you really, no one would want to leave a stone unturned. So you involve yourself in all those processes, so that but most importantly, our members, our councillors are disciplined cadres of the party. I don't foresee anyone being tempted to disregard or disobey a directive of the party. So we are only doing this as a formality to say we talk amongst ourselves on who really is supported by other councillors, as a matter of finding whether there's a general consensus. Sorry, there must be a general consensus at least.
Not a generational.
Yeah, a general consensus from amongst the councillors as whether they prefer Mkuni or they prefer someone else to be mayor. So really, it's a process which we're all doing whilst awaiting the directive of the party.
So in the case that the party does not recommend you, would you accept that, or you still lobby other councillors to elect you as a mayor?
No, like I said, I don't think there's anyone amongst the 29 elected councillors of the MDC Alliance who would want to disregard a position of the party. If the party feels that I don't have the capacity, and if the party feels that candidate B or candidate C has the capacity to lead our beautiful seat, then so be it. I will abide by the decision of my party.
It's quite an interesting time that we live in Bulawayo, and I think, like I said, we have younger people coming in and all those kind of things. But what would be a word to other councillors? We have seen sometimes people get into council and really do nothing. But what do you hope with as a council you are going to achieve?
I think what is important is teamwork. We need to remain united. I know this period between elections and the time that we are going to be sworn in has been a bit divisive on the question of mayor, deputy mayor, etc. But what is important is for us to realize and remember that we are still members of the same party. We have been elected on the basis of the promises that our party made, on the basis of the policies that our party has on local government. So we need to remain united and work as a collective in this 5-year term, so that we remain relevant to the city and its residents. There's still 2023 to fight for. So really, we are not yet there. So my word would be that we need to work hard in our wards, work hard for the city. Whoever eventually is elected mayor must make sure that he becomes a fair mayor who will unite the councillors and unite the city at large. But most importantly, I urge my fellow councillors that we need to elect someone as mayor who will have an appeal to not only to Bulawayo, because you see, when you become mayor of Bulawayo, you're not only the mayor of the city per se, you're also mayor for the Matabeleland region. So that particular individual must be someone who is appealing to the whole region at large.
Hayi Mahlabe Zulu olendlebe uzizwele lijaha la Mguni Cllr Solomon, he was talking to us about his new found position as the councillor for Bulawayo, and he also, like Limzule, he has indicated that he's interested in being the mayor of Bulawayo. A young man, very young, 35 years of age. So I'm not sure lapha ukuba mayor kule age ukuthi sifuna abantu abadala, sifuna abantu abancane. We know that the MDC has been going on about generational renewal. We know the leader of the MDC is a young man aged 40. So we see that cascading to our councillor as well. So the race of the city of Bulawayo, the position of mayor, is really getting interesting. I think we have talked to most of the people who want this position. There are about 6 people who put their applications and they interviewed for the job of the mayor, and about 5, I think, for the job of deputy mayor. So we'll see at the end of the day, first of all, who the party is going to recommend for this post, and lastly, who the councillors themselves are going to vote for. Because while the party can basically recommend, it's up to the councillors to vote when they meet for the first time on who they want to be the mayor. So, and we are hoping that at the end of the day, we are going to have a mayor who's going to serve the people of Bulawayo and make Bulawayo a great city. Kube for sure ekontutu ziyathunqa komfazi uthaya indoda iBulawayo siyaziyo labadala babegada amabhasikili bebanengi bevela amandakho nangale, because most of these areas that used to be industrial areas now sezavala sezingama church, and there is little production that is going on. One question to you who has been following the program, I would say, if Solomon Mguni was to contest for the councillor or for the position of the mayor, would you vote for him? This is what we'll be doing from now until the next election, evaluating what the councillors promised us and what they've delivered. My name is Zenzele Ndebele. Till we meet again in other programs, have a good day.